most OnlyFans management agency out there are so fucking bad to the point I want to cry. And the reason for this is because the barrier to entry to becoming an OnlyFans manager, to creating your own OnlyFans agency is so small. Anyone can become an OnlyFans manager. Anyone can just go onto a successful agency's page and just copy their OnlyFans screenshot of their client and put it on their page. This is why there's such a big issue with the OnlyFans industry. And it's because there are so many OnlyFans managers saying that they're someone that they aren't. Because owning an OnlyFans agency, and I'm an OnlyFans manager myself, I have scaled my agency to 6 figures a month. And I can uncomfortably say that owning an agency is not easy. So in this video, I'm going to give you the biggest 5 red flags to look out before signing with an OnlyFans agency. The biggest one and the first one is agencies that make guarantees, okay? Let's say you're on a call with an agency or you're texting with them on Instagram. If they are telling you that you will hit a guaranteed month, they are usually full of shit. And the reason for this is because there are so many variables for you to hit a certain number of income per month. And for an agency to tell you that you will certainly and 100% hit like 100K months on a 200K months, this usually means that this agency has no idea what they're doing. Is they don't want to work with you long term. They just want to make quick money from you because they know they won't hit this month's review. They know they don't really know what they're doing. They are just so desperate to sign you to the point that they prefer making false promises so that they can sign you for a couple of weeks and make profits from that. No real agency guarantees numbers, because when I say there are many variables into how much you can make a month, it's because there are so many variables. It depends on what kind of audience you have. It depends on the timing. It literally depends on your work ethic. It depends if your Instagram is going to get banned or not banned. It depends on the chatting. It depends on how good the marketing structure is. It depends if you're comfortable doing multiple different type of content formats, because if you're not comfortable doing multiple type of content format, it would be really hard for the agency to scale you. So there's so many variables. And just for any agency to make promises, this just means they don't know what it takes to hit big numbers, because they have never hit big numbers. The second one is if the contract owes you. Okay, the amount of time I've jumped on calls with OnlyFans models and they would show me their contract, I've seen some horrible things. I think once I saw a contract and pretty much the model was like not allowed to leave. In the contract, it was saying that if the model would ever be to leave, she would not be allowed to work with any other OnlyFans agency for 1 year. And any account that was created for her, any account that she literally owned, like created before working with the agency, would belong to the agency. This is just insane. This is insane. And the reason there are some agencies that have such horrible contract is because they know you will leave at some point, because they know they don't know what they're doing. And because of this, they want to make a contract that's so bad that they want to kind of like blackmail you into not leaving them. But this is just stupid. Okay, so if you will ever work with an agency and on the call or before the call they show you a contract and you see that the contract is horrible and it's super hard to leave, you just know that they don't really know what they are doing. The third one is that you never speak to the same person twice. So what I mean by this is because there's a lot of agencies, and when you go on a call with the agency, you speak to one person that seems like he really knows what he's doing. But once you sign with the agency, you never speak to that person again. So pretty much what's going on is that a lot of agencies, for the call you have with the agency, they get a sales guy to go on a call with you. That pretty much means that they don't actually give a shit about making money with you, because if they delegate you to have a call with a salesperson, it just means that for them, you are simply a number. And this is something you don't want to be with any other agencies, because unfortunately, there are so many agencies that have around 30, 50, 100 OnlyFans models. So clearly the owner of the agency probably doesn't know 3/4 of who their model are, because all he's trying to have is the best profit margins, and he will only take care of his biggest models. Unless you're not making more than 100K a month, it is very improbable that this guy will take you seriously. He will just try and take his 50% by doing the absolute bare minimum. And when I mean the bare minimum, I mean that they will probably give you horrible traffic on your account and either not give you any marketing, or they will give you marketing that is so bad to the point it will ban your Instagram account. Like the amount of time I've talked with creators and they would complain about the agencies, I've heard all type of stories. And one of the biggest type of story I've heard are agencies that just don't do jack shit with the model. So they take 3 days, 2 days, 5 days to reply. They give bad marketing, well, all of it. Literally in my agency, we have like a protocol where we can't leave a model on like not delivered for more than 5 hours or 6 hours because I hate bad communication. The fourth sign is when they disappear when things go wrong. So let's say you're making 20K a month, okay? And you sign with this agency that's going to promise you a 60K month next month by doing a new Reddit strategy. And yeah, like some agencies genuinely say that, and it's so stupid. And obviously, when you start working with them, their Reddit strategy is full of shit, and boom, next month you hit 10K. And you start texting them, hey, why did my revenue go so low? And they tell you, oh, it's your fault. The content you were giving, but okay, if your agency stops blaming you when the months go lower, that is a very bad sign. Unless you literally just completely stopped creating content. Even if that is the case, the agencies should have a backup plan. For example, what I do with my models in my agencies when they start creating way less content is we retake old content, we change the contracts, we zoom into the video. Sometimes we flip the video when there is no caption on the video, otherwise it looks weird. And then we trim a bit the length so that in Instagram's eyes, the video is brand new. And by doing this, we can create new content, well, old content, but let's say new content, without the model having to do absolutely anything. We have multiple other ways to do it. Another way we do it is we kind of make edits of the model. So what do I mean by this? Is, for example, we would do like a before versus after video of the model, where the before would just be her when she was not doing OnlyFans, and the after was her when she was doing OnlyFans. And then we just create videos like this for her without her having to do absolutely nothing. Making it so that when the creator is a bit lazy, or I don't know, she has a week where she's like not feeling like doing content, I don't know, maybe she's having some personal issues, we're like, okay, we're gonna take care of it, and we just create content for her. So even if you have a week where you don't do much content, if the agency does absolutely nothing, doesn't even text you about, hey, why are you not doing content? That is a big red flag. That just shows that they genuinely don't give a shit about your numbers. A good agency would care about your OnlyFans revenue more than you do. And the last one, the fifth one, is when they don't show actual revenue proof. So let's say you were talking with this agency on Instagram, and on their profile, they have the best case study. They made this creator 5 million a month, and they made this other creator 20 million a month. But on the call, you ask them for the revenue proof, and they start giving you some bullshit like, oh, I keep my model's names private so I can't show you the revenue. Oh, this was some old. If they simply don't actually show you a dashboard of one of their models, this usually means that the screenshot on their page are fake. For example, if you were to ask me the revenue of my models, I don't hide. I would quite literally share my screen and show the revenue. Okay, I'm kind of going to be a hypocrite right there, but I do have to hide my model's name. But what I can literally do is hide my model's name and refresh the dashboard, which is something that cannot be faked. So the summary of the video is that when OnlyFans blew up, it was amazing. So many girls were making insane numbers by simply creating content in their house. It was like the American dream. But unfortunately, this also attracted a bunch of guys that had the Andrew Tate mentality, that were pretty much trying to be pimps, trying to just take 50% from models and do the absolutely bare minimum. Even though there were a bunch of OnlyFans managers trying to put a good name in the industry, it was also attracting a bunch of literal retards that had no idea what they were doing, ruining the name for other people. Trust me, you do not want to work with a bad agency. If you are about to work with an agency and you can see any of those signs, I would seriously reconsider working with them. So before going on a call with an agency, here are 5 questions you should ask them. The first one is, who specifically manages my account day to day? The second one should be, can you show me an example of how you would send me content ideas every day or every week? The third one is, can you show me a real dashboard by sharing your screen right now? If they can't, you already know that screenshots are fake. The fourth one is, what happens to my accounts if I leave the contract? Show me the clause. The fifth one is, what's your notice period and exit terms? If they have a hard time responding to any of those questions, this usually means that the agency is a walking red flag. If this feels familiar, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description, or you can see my Instagram right there on the screen. I seriously hope this video is going to help you a lot.